Jeff from Two Hacks Garage. Well, back up at Kyle's Hack Shack, we're working on Project Dazed and Confused, that 1971 Chevelle SS 454. This car used to be a drag car, converted back to a street car. A lot of quality work done to it, but there's always room for improvement. As we said at the beginning of this project, what we've been able to do is make this thing a lot more reliable, easier to stop, sound mean. At the end of the day, we want this thing to drive just as good as it looks. Last video you saw us, we started installing the Holley Sniper EFI kit. It's really awesome. That power distribution module really makes things easier. So what we're going to do tonight, guys, is we're going to continue that, and we're also going to fix the header collectors. When we went to weld in the O2 bung, we noticed that one of them was leaking. You know what, guys? It was really thin. It was old. So I went to Holley, ordered the correct collectors. We're going to get that in there so we can get everything wired up. So in this video, it's going to continue wiring on that, fixing the exhaust. And you know what, guys? We're one step closer to completing this. However, it's snowing outside, so this car ain't going anywhere for a while. See you soon. When we tried welding these originally, this was all rotted. It was thin, and when we were trying to weld it, it blew through. We do have the O2 sensor bung welded in. We did that last video, installed the O2 sensor, and right now we're just on to the next step. Mind you, we had to readjust all the pipes, got all that done. But now what we're going to do, since we're underneath the car, we're going to go ahead and start wiring up the fuel pump. Like I said in a previous video, this is the new Sniper 2 EFI kit, and the fuel pump, in my opinion, is much better than the other one. I'm going to say it's going to be a very quick, easy install, so we can get this thing down and start wiring more underneath the hood. Or the ignition box switch 12 volts, so 15. So we're going to go ahead and find that, and we're going to get that wired up, and that's going to be so when you turn the key, it gets everything going. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to find a good 12-volt ignition source. That's very important with this, so we can get that wired up, so we can go ahead and wire up the battery, and we can start testing things. See you in a few. All right, so now we're on to a step. We found a good 12-volt source that we wired in there. Still haven't wired up the battery part, but the next step we're going to do is we are going to install the Hyperspark Sniper distributor. One thing you need to do, you see the cam gear there? It does come with Lucas Oil Performance Gear break-in, lubricant, and protectant. You must put that on there, otherwise you can do some damage. Also, don't forget to put the distributor gasket on there so it seals in the back. Kind of something neat with this. It has an alignment tool. So what you want to do is you're going to probably have to drop this in a few times, but you want your rotor to point to cylinder number 1, which on a Chevy it's 1357, 2468. And then you're going to turn the distributor here. If you look here, it's got this cap. You're going to turn the distributor once that's locked in there until this thing locks into place down here. So what it's going to look like here on that, kind of like that. So once this is pointing to 1, you're going to turn this until it aligns. It's an alignment tool to basically make sure we're having the right spark on this. Then after that, we're going to use our manual. We're going to look at the firing order on this, and we'll start running plugs. But yeah, there's very detailed instructions on this that Holley does provide. It makes it easy snap. So yeah, that's what we're going to do, guys. Is we're going to start putting this distributor in. By the way, it's just that 3-pin hookup. Makes everything a breeze. All right, well, we're gonna call that a wrap for the night. We got the car back up on the lift. They're working on a couple small transmission things that we need to take care of for maintenance. But as you saw in that video, what we ended up doing is we completed the wiring on the fuel pump, started wiring up some other things, the odds and ends on that, getting the distributor in there, and all that fun jazz. Like I said, Holley provides a really good instructional manual with this. The instructions are great, pictures, it explains everything in detail. I highly recommend, though, reading it before you do it and reading it as you go along. So where are we at right now, guys? Well, pretty much got everything wired up. We just need to wire it to the battery, install some new spark plugs, and also put the wires on. Check everything once over again, which is always important, and test fire it. Check for all of our leaks, of course, see if there's any. Fingers crossed, we haven't had those on installing any of these, and set the timing on it. From there, well, we'll go in and we'll hide all the wiring, make sure it's right, and it'll be good to go. Weather's kind of crappy out right now, so we're going to go ahead and call it a night, get cleaned up, and we're going to tackle the rest of this in the next video. With that, guys, we're going to do a little bit of transmission work, get cleaned up, and get out of here. Have a good night.